Hi guys, this is Dawn Anderson, and in this video I'm going to show you how to change due dates, and I'm also going to show you about the calendar function inside of Canvas. So you guys probably by now have looked around in your shells. For 7th grade, we start with Chapter 8. And there's a lot of different things in here that you can choose or not choose. So I have published some of these things. I've made them live for students. You can see that my module right here is published because it's green. So students, when they log in, they can actually see this stuff. They can see the dates and they can see the point value. Some things I published, some things I did not. Some of these, this little thing means it's a blueprint course. So this came from the blueprint. This was uploaded to my shell. If it doesn't have that, that means that I created that myself and I stuck that in there. And it's very easy to change the due dates on these things. So if I wanted to change the due date on, let's say, this discussion here, you just click on the assignment. And you can do this while you're making it, or you can do this after you've created it. So I'm just going to click Edit. And then down here toward the bottom, you're assigning it to, you can choose everyone, you can choose certain sections, you can choose certain people, and then the due date right here. So you can just click on a date on here. The default time is midnight, so you can change that too. So once you've changed the due date, you just save it, or you save and publish it. I'm just going to hit save here. And in this case, it doesn't really matter what the due date is. It says right here, April 10th, but it's not published, so it doesn't really matter. Kids will not see this because it is not published. You can still see it because it's inside this module. If you decide that you don't want to publish it, you're never going to publish it, and you just want to get it off your screen so your module is a little more cleaned up, you can just click this button right here, and you can remove it from your module if you want to. And you're not deleting it. I know that's trash can there, but you are not trashing it. It is not going away. At any time, you could go right over here to discussions, and every discussion is in this discussion tab. Students can't access this button because of the little crossed out eyeball here, but you can. So at a later time, if you decide, oh, you did really want that, then you can just add it to your module again. So when you remove it from your module, you're not deleting it, you're just removing it. Another really easy way to change assignments, right over here, this is the calendar. And you can literally just drag and drop. So if I wanted my check-in assessment to be next week, I could make it next week. And literally that's all you do. So now it is next week. I'm going to put it back because I don't actually want it to be next week. And an interesting thing that Canvas does, and I don't like it, is they put everything on here. So everything that's in a module, they put on here, whether it's published or not. And I did double check. I added my daughter to the class. She's an 8th grader at Golden View. And I added her to the class. She's not in my class normally. And on her screen, she only sees the things that are published. So I'm learning a lot here too. Anything that's published in your modules will show up on your calendar, even if the module isn't published. So if something in Chapter 9, let's say down here, let's say something in Chapter 9 is published and the module is not published, it will still show up in your calendar and the student's calendar if there's a date attached to it. So what I did actually is I went into all of my modules, I unpublished everything except the things that I want them to be working on just right now. And I double checked with my daughter. The only thing that she has is the check-in assessment, the gizmo, and one of these other things. I believe it's the key concepts. So I did double check on her calendar. It is correct. One other thing I should show you while we're here, these are my optional science office hours. And all I did was I created an event. I typed in office hours. I put what time my office hours are. In location, I put my password, which is Oreo. and my ID number so that students can come to my Zoom sessions if they want to. And then really important, you need to make sure it's actually in your science category. Sometimes your own personal category will come up in here because you can add things to your personal calendar. You don't want to do that because it shows up on your calendar only and not your science calendar. So if you wanted to add some more stuff, like give the kids more detail, you can add some more things here under more options. So I could write out more detail here. The only downside to this is kids don't often click on the whole assignment. Sometimes they just go to that calendar view and they just hover over it, in which case it just gives them the basics. My password for my Zoom meetings changes periodically, so kids know that they can come right here, they can click on this, they can find the password, and then they can copy and paste this link. All right, thanks. I hope that was helpful.